Stay standing. Gentlemen, please remove your hat for the playing of the national anthem, led by our director, Mr. Jeff Vizdos, and performed by the Poland Wind Ensemble. You may be seated. Members of the Poland Board of Education, Mr. Hockenberry, faculty, honored guests, parents, and of course the members of the graduating class of 2025. Welcome. This day is a huge accomplishment for all of you. It marks the end of one phase of your life and a whole new beginning of another. I want to thank you all for a great run the last 4 years. You are all great young men and women whose families should be extremely proud. You are a very accomplished class. To go over a few of those accomplishments, this class of around 100 has received 1,587 total hours of college credit through Kent State, Youngstown State, and Eastern Gateway. 1,207 of those hours were here at Poland Seminary High School, with an additional 380 on campus. Your class also totaled 126 advanced placement courses throughout your careers. The class of 2025 has students attending various universities, technical and trade school, as well as enlisting in the military, showing this class's incredible diverse talents and passions. Those talents, character, and hard work have resulted in scholarship totals of $2,929,697, locally $82,550, with a grand total of $3,012,247. Let's give a round of applause. Truly incredible class. Recently, I revisited a quote the past couple months as I was cleaning out my closet, by, of course, my wife's demand. It was on the back of one of my shirts. It's called "The Man in the Arena" by Theodore Roosevelt, and it was written in 1910. But I actually think it's more relevant now than it ever was. And it goes like this: "It's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes up short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasm and great devotion, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end of the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least he fails daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who know neither victory nor defeat." So I say this because we live in a world where the keyboard warriors sit at home on the sidelines critiquing every move anyone makes, but are also too insecure to do it themselves. These gutless folks sit in their flannel pajamas, eating their Cheetos in their basements, having impacted our society in a way that causes people to hesitate to take risks for fear of being judged. I'm here to tell you, do not give them the satisfaction or the screen time to matter. Dare to be great and put yourself out there. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. Try new things. Embrace the process, whether it ends in failure or success. If it's success, try something else and push yourself even further. If it's failure, dust yourself off, adjust, and attack it again and again, learning from each time until you finally succeed. Get knocked down 7, get up 8. Be relentless and resilient. There's an old Japanese philosophy known in the business world that makes a lot of sense in the real world. It is called Kaizen, which is the philosophy of constant improvement. Every day is an opportunity to improve, even if it is only by 1%. So it's not about being invincible, it's about being unstoppable. What better advice can I give you than to be your very best every day? Refuse to be denied your dreams and goals. The only one who stops you is you. I'll leave you with these last couple pieces of life advice. Whatever you do it with pride. All your heart and energy, so you will leave a legacy in whatever that is. Find something you love, and I promise you, you'll never work a day in your life. Always be a leader. Following leaves you at best second, with no chance to ever be the best. Have no regrets. Nothing worse than the coulda, shoulda feeling after the opportunities are gone. Make yourself happy first. If you spend your whole life trying to please others, you'll please no one, including you. And last but not least, probably the most important, cherish those people you love most. They made you who you are and helped you get here. Many of those people are here today, so let's give them some love and give those folks a round of applause, class of 2025. On behalf of myself, the faculty, and the staff of Poland Seminary High School, I wish the graduating class 2025, each and every one of you, a successful life, the love of the ones that you care most, and most importantly, that you love and respect yourself. You are our future, and we wish you the best. Congratulations to the class of 2025. At this time, I'd like to introduce our valedictorian speaker, Mr. Michael Daly.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so honored to stand here before you today as one of the valedictorians from this year's highly talented class of 2025. In our time here at PSHS, we have achieved countless things that have forever shaped our legacy as a class. But today, we leave everything we've ever known, and we expand the narrative of our lives to new horizons. Here are a few key ideas that I challenge you to keep in mind as you take on the many obstacles that life will present you. The first is to honor your name. It's just a couple words. What someone says when they want your attention. It's so simple. Mine is Michael John Daly, just 5 syllables, but a name is the single most important thing we are given in this world. It represents our family, our history, it represents our town, but most importantly, it represents us. It represents the story of our lives and the legacy that we leave behind. It is the one thing that we have complete control over no matter what happens in our lives, no matter how much changes, no matter where we go, and no matter who we become in the future, our names will remain constant no matter what. To the hundreds of people sitting in this beautiful fieldhouse today, my name probably means something completely different to each of you. To some of you, my name is a title with just no text. To others, a simple anecdote or a short story. And to the closest people in my life, the people I've known for years, it's a novel longer than any ever written before. I allude to books and literature because, like Mr. Snyder said, it is so easy to judge a character while you are reading, to decide what they did wrong, to make criticisms about what they could have done better. But sometimes we lack that same criticism to look at our own life and see what we did wrong and what we could have done better. Every moment is its own story in your life, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, because each moment defines us as people. Every single moment, a sentence, a page, or even a chapter becomes a part of our story. And when the day comes where a person in your life closes the cover, or even when there are no more words left to be told by you, what do you want your story to mean? How do you want it to be remembered? Another one of my favorite messages is a paradoxical statement, or one that contradicts itself but secretly has a bigger meaning. Live so that you regret everything, but nothing at the same time. Why does fear exist? Scientifically, fear exists to alert us of danger or potential harm. But mentally, emotionally, and socially, it exists to keep us comfortable. When we want to do something abnormal, something outside our comfort zone, the what if always stops us. What if when I get there I mess up? What if I fail? What if this? What if that? They are limitless and they are universal, and they stop us from doing anything and everything if we let them. So why let them? For when we move past fear, step outside our comfort zones, and believe, we can finally reach our full potential and become the best version of ourselves. Live so that you regret everything, but nothing at the same time. In other words, the regret of doing something and failing is substantially better than the regret of not doing anything at all. So challenge yourselves and challenge each other to live, to fail, and ultimately to grow. For that is the only way the true potential in each of us can shine through. Finally, I want to touch on Marvel's touching new film, The Thunderbolts, and one of its lines that deeply intertwine with my own life. As many of you know, I served as the goalkeeper for our varsity soccer team for 3 outstanding seasons and made some of the best memories of my life doing so. This past season, I faced one of the scariest obstacles of all, and it came when one of my best friends and my partner on the pitch collided head-to-head with another player and was knocked unconscious with blood pouring from his nose, over his lips, and desecrating the pure white image of his jersey. As I rushed over to him with tears in my eyes, I feared for the first time that I was going to lose him forever. But let me backtrack for a moment. In the Thunderbolts, and this is not a spoiler, the Red Guardian asks Yelena why she wanted to be her soccer team's goalie. And for those of you who don't know Marvel, those are just 2 random characters, it's not important. And she said, "So I don't have to run as much as the other kids." And let me tell you, this was definitely one of the advantages. But being a goalie is so much more than that. When you sign up for it, you know you will never get to score a goal. You never get to celebrate with your teammates in the corner after a goal. And rarely do you ever get attention for a win. So why be a goalie? You said you wanted to be a goalie because you wanted to be the one everyone else depended on after they all made a mistake, the Red Guardian told Yelena. That line really resonated with me, but it wasn't necessarily true. Because when AJ was lying on that swift blue turf, so much was racing through my mind that I made 2 mistakes of my own when play resumed, and we were losing 2-0 in the regional semifinal game in the blink of an eye. But my team was there for me, a family. I relied on them, and they didn't let me fall. We won that game 3-2 in overtime. My teammate was okay, and we even got to visit him in the hospital after the game. I guess my memo here is, you cannot always be the hero. As strong and independent as you might think you are, you will get broken down in life, and you will make mistakes. You just need to find the people that are willing to fight extra hard for you, who are willing to carry your weight and get you back on your feet. That is all of my advice to each and every one of you. Act for your name. Live like each moment is your last. Never let fear limit what is possible. And find the people in life who are willing to fight for you just as hard as you fought for them. To all my teachers, classmates, friends, and family, thank you for fighting for and believing in me. I will cherish these moments, these memories forever. Although we may never get to relive this experience again, we can never truly forget just how much we impacted each other's lives. Thank you.
Great job, Michael. Our commencement speaker today should need no introduction. He's a 1972 graduate of Poland Seminary High School, and he currently serves as a Principal Deputy General Counsel for the Missile Defense Agency, Department of Defense. In this position, he serves as a primary legal advisor to the agency's three-star director on an all-legal issue related to missile defense system, a program with an annual budget of over $10 billion with more than 9,000 civilian, military, and contracted personnel. He assists the general counsel in directing a staff of 24 attorneys and providing all legal support necessary to execute a single program of a development of land and sea-based missile interceptors, as well as an air, land, sea, and space-based sensors and worldwide communications to defend the United States of America, deployed forces, and allies from missiles attack. Prior to joining the Missile Defense Agency in 2006, he was an active duty judge advocate, which is an attorney, with the United States Air Force. After nearly 23 years of service, he retired as a colonel while serving as Deputy Staff Judge Advocate, Headquarters Air Force Material Command, Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, Ohio. In that position, he assisted the Staff Judge Advocate in giving legal advice to the four-star commander and the staff in overseeing more than 300 attorneys and nearly 200 paralegals at 22 field legal offices. During his active duty career, he also had a base level assignments as Staff Judge Advocate, Prosecutor, Criminal Defense Attorney, Executive Officer, Legislative Liaison Officer, and Acquisition Attorney. He earned a Bachelor of Science right here at Youngstown State University, a Juris Doctor degree from Cleveland Marshall College of Law, Cleveland, Ohio, a Master's of Law in Environmental Law with a concentration in Government Procurement from the George Washington University School of Law, Washington, D.C., and he is also a graduate of the Air Force's Airway College Command and Staff College and Squadron Officer Schools. His wife, Claudia, also a graduate in 1974 from here, Poland Seminary High School, live in Huntsville, Alabama. They have 3 daughters and 4 grandchildren. Please let me assist me in welcoming Mr. Norbert J. Diaz.
Well, good evening, and thank you for that introduction and that warm welcome. Mr. Hockenberry, Dr. Hoffmaster, members of the school board, Mr. Snyder, Mr. Daly, Mr. Ashcroft, teachers, administrators, parents, family, friends, and most importantly, the graduating class of 2025. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me here today. I am truly honored, and I am humbled to share this special day with you. To the graduating class, congratulations. Today is a day of celebration. It's a day to reflect upon your journey and the remarkable achievements that you've accomplished individually and together. Today, we recognize not only the culmination of your educational experience, but also the beginning of a new chapter in your life story. As just mentioned in my bio, I'm a fellow Poland Bulldog, a proud graduate of the class of 1972. We were the first class to graduate from this school building. We spent our sophomore and junior years in what we affectionately referred to as the old high school on College Street. I still refer to this building as the new high school. I believe it's 54 years old now, right? Still the new high school. This school building also holds a special place in my heart because it's right down the hall near your library that I met my high school sweetheart and bride of nearly 48 years. But I digress, so let me get back on topic. So for those of you who haven't done the math, it has been nearly 53 years since I graduated from this school. And I'm quite certain you're wondering what this old guy could possibly have to say that would be beneficial to you. It's okay to call me the old guy. I embrace it. In fact, on my last birthday, I noticed that the candles that went on my cake cost more than the cake itself. So that's pretty old. So anyway, what does this old guy have? What pearls of wisdom do I have to offer you as a commencement speaker? Let me put it to you this way, to put it into perspective. You're probably like me. You like a good story. We all love a good story. Whether it's a TV drama, a hit movie, a million-seller novel, we tend to line up for that good story. Or maybe you're sitting in the school cafeteria and your friends begin to tell stories, and each one seems better than the other. And one story is so fantastic that you can't wait for the opportunity to retell it to someone else. Yep, we all love a good story. Now, most stories are good, or even great, because through a myriad of characters and relationships, situations and locations, they march you to an incredible ending. You see, my friends, you are in the beginning chapters of your story. I am reaching the final chapters of my story, and although my story is not necessarily a blockbuster hit, it's a story filled with many blessings, 2 successful careers, much happiness, lasting relationships, and so much more. So I'd like to share a few things that helped create my story and hopefully give you some things to think about as you embark on your own. What I offer is this: a few very simple life lessons that I have carried with me most of my life and that I apply to this very day. Lessons that have contributed to my story and any success or achievement I may have accomplished. Now, I once heard a motivational speaker talk about the life lessons he learned from the wisest person he had ever known. And in preparing for today, I gave that considerable thought. Who is the wisest person I have ever known, and how have they influenced my life? After all, I've known a lot of smart and powerful people in my 40-plus years working as an attorney for the Department of Defense. Certainly, I have golden nuggets from all those people that I can share with you about how they succeeded and perhaps how they may have influenced me. Many people have mentored me and helped me along the way: teachers, college professors, law school professors, judges, pastors. And in my current job as the Principal Deputy General Counsel for the Missile Defense Agency, I literally work with rocket scientists each and every day. Brilliant men and women. I affectionately refer to them as having 500-pound brains. And I've worked with general officers and admirals and United States senators and members of Congress. So yes, there are many characters included in my story, and all those people were certainly smart and wise, and yes, they all played an important part in my life. But of all the people I've known, one stands out, head and shoulders above the rest. And I say that figuratively because literally this person is barely over 5 feet tall. The wisest person I have ever known, perhaps one of the most influential people in my life, was a small, white-haired woman. That's how I remember her. An immigrant from Europe, from a very small village in the country of Hungary, who came to this country alone without family. In 1907, at the age of 19, she was about your age. She left her homeland and her family to find a better life. She didn't speak a word in English when she arrived here. She didn't have a high school education. For that matter, she had very little formal education. The wisest person I have ever known was my maternal grandmother, Helen Getchie. She played a very important part in my life. You see, my dad wasn't around when I was growing up, so my brother and I moved in with my grandparents, with my mom, and when I was just 2 years old. And my grandparents cared for me and my brother daily when my mom went to work. I lived with my grandmother for 21 years of my life, so she was a key and leading character in my life story. It was that simple homemaker, that high school dropout, the wisest person I have ever known, who taught me many life lessons. And I want to share just a few of those simple but important life lessons with you. First and foremost, she challenged me to be the best that I could be, no matter what I chose to do or what I chose to be, to always strive for excellence. I remember one instance in particular. I was about 11, 12 years old, and one of my responsibilities at home was to cut the grass. And on one occasion, I was in a rush to meet some buddies for a pickup baseball game, and so I broke land speed records pushing that lawnmower, and I did a pretty sloppy job. I have to admit, it was really bad. And I remember later that night my grandmother commenting about the fact that the lawn wasn't quite up to par. she wasn't upset. She was disappointed. And I remember her like yesterday. She sat me down next to her. She gently placed her hands on my two cheeks. And looking into my eyes, she said to me, "If you're going to do a job, do it right. Do the best you can, no matter what." Of course, I responded the way any 11 or 12-year-old would respond, "But Grandma, it's good enough." Still looking into my eyes, she said, "Good enough isn't good enough if you can do a better job." And you know what I've learned over the years? That better isn't good enough if you can do your best. My friends, always strive for excellence in whatever you do in all aspects of your life, from personal relationships to professional endeavors. But let me add, as you strive for excellence, as you try to do the best you can, I can guarantee you that you will fail from time to time. Grandma always said, "Don't be afraid to fail." There are life lessons that can be learned from failure that success can't teach. Failure humbles you. It kicks aside pride and gives you humility, a very precious virtue. Failure can be a better teacher than success because it can prevent you from repeating the same mistakes that you made in the first place. If you succeed at everything, you risk learning from nothing. That simple homemaker, that mother of 5 and grandmother of 6, the wisest person I have ever known, also taught me that in my efforts to do my best and to strive for excellence, it's better to be early than to be late. I learned this lesson very early in my life. I remember having to wake up very early on Sunday mornings, and on one Sunday morning I finally asked, "Grandma, why do we have to be at church a half hour early every Sunday morning?" And I could hear her say, "It's better to be a half hour early than to be 1 minute late." And I always thought it was to ensure we got the family pew. You know, heaven forbid someone else sat in our self-assigned church seats. But that wasn't the reason for getting to church early. To my grandmother, being on time was not just a matter of good manners and proper etiquette. It's a sign of respect for yourself and respect for others. Arriving on time shows that you value other people's time. Punctuality is often seen as a sign of good work ethic and reliability. Showing up on time is also a sign of integrity. Integrity, now, there is an important virtue. Having the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles. Speaking of integrity, my grandmother was not only the wisest person I've ever known, she was the most honest person I have ever known. She was the model of integrity in her own life, demonstrating how to live with honesty, integrity, and compassion, setting an example for her children and grandchildren to follow. I could remember on one particular occasion when I lied to my grandmother. I had broken one of her flower vases, and she knew I broke it, but I denied it. I not only denied it, I think I blamed my brother. And I thought she'd be upset that I had broken her vase, but she was more disappointed than she was upset. Disappointed that I had lied to her. And she expressed disappointment and redirected the conversation to a discussion of honesty and trust. You see, she turned this into another teaching moment. And if memory serves me correctly, she said something like this: "I understand you might be scared to tell me the truth, but it's important that we can trust each other." Wow, that was a punch in the gut. I let her down. I certainly trusted her, and I didn't want her to lose trust in me. She instilled in me the importance of being reliable and trustworthy, teaching me that my word is my bond. She stressed the importance of always telling the truth, even when it's difficult, as it's the foundation of good character and lasting relationships. She taught the value of doing what's right, even when it's not easy or popular. She taught me to live my life with integrity. I can remember the day that I received a letter letting me know that I had been accepted accepted into law school, and I was eager to tell my grandmother, "Grandma, I got into law school. I am going to be a lawyer." "You're going to be a liar?" she asked. "No, Grandma, I'm going to be a lawyer." I said it loudly, quite certain she hadn't heard me the first time because she was a little hard of hearing. "I know," she said, "but you're not going to be a liar. You're going to be an honest lawyer." She knew exactly what she was saying. You see, she apparently knew of some lawyers with questionable values and morals. Anyway, her point: be honest, be honorable in whatever job you choose or profession you pursue. I trust and hope she's looking down on me and is proud and satisfied that I have been an honorable man. My grandmother, the wisest person I have ever known, the most honest person I have ever known, was also the most selfless person I have ever known. Pope Francis once said, "Rivers do not drink their own water. Trees do not eat their own fruit. The sun does not shine on itself, and flowers do not spread their fragrance for themselves. Living for others is a rule of nature. We are all born to help each other, no matter how difficult it is. Life is good when you are happy, but much better when others are happy because of you." You know, my mom told me the story of my grandparents during the Great Depression that began in 1929, a time marked by expansive unemployment and poverty. And during that time, my grandparents had the good fortune to have a little bit of land and were able to plant a large vegetable garden and many fruit trees. They also raised some chickens and cows and goats and pigs. And as the story goes, multiple times a week, my grandmother would make several large pots of chicken or vegetable soup, and she would share it with her neighbors, also sharing homemade bread and canned fruits and vegetables for those less fortunate. See, my grandmother's selfless devotion to her family and friends and those less fortunate taught me an important lesson. She was willing to serve others, and she taught me that perhaps I needed to be willing to do the same. She gave me an example, and for me, happiness came from following her example. There's a special joy that accompanies serving others in a spirit of humility. I am extremely humbled, honored, and proud to have served this great nation for more than 40 years in the Department of Defense, in both the profession of arms as an Air Force officer and in the profession of law. No matter what you do in life, you will find an opportunity to give back, to serve others. Your family, your church or place of worship, your community, your country. I encourage you, embrace those opportunities. Now, I have many more life lessons I learned from my grandmother, but I just wanted to focus on those few. So let me summarize those three simple but very important life lessons that I learned from the wisest person I have ever known, life lessons that have positively influenced and factored into my story over these many years. Number one, live your life with integrity, having the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles and character, the very fabric that holds together all other aspects of our jobs and daily lives. You know, when I was a young boy, one of my teachers described integrity as doing the right thing when nobody is looking. Number two, service to others. Finding a way to serve others can take many forms, such as serving the military, working in a career to serve others, community volunteering, or anything that puts the good of others before your own. And number three, always strive for excellence in whatever you do, whether it's furthering your education at a college or trade school, entering the job market, or joining the military. In all aspects of your life, from personal relationships to professional endeavors, take pride in doing the best you can do. It's a mindset. It's a mindset of giving your best, striving to continually improve yourself. The great coach Vince Lombardi once said, "The quality of a person's life is in direct proportion to their commitment to excellence, regardless of their chosen field." integrity, service, excellence. Here's what's interesting about those three words, those simple life lessons I learned from my grandmother. When I entered the United States Air Force, I learned that the Air Force clearly defined its identity by three core values, the Air Force core values. Integrity first, an emphasis on honesty, responsibility, and accountability. Service before self, highlighting the needs of the nation over our own personal desires. And last of all, excellence in all we do, a commitment to the higher standards of performance. The very same life lessons I learned from my grandmother many years earlier, integrity, service, excellence. Those three words are not just a tagline. They are a mindset, they are a commitment. Understanding these life lessons, these core values, is relatively easy. The true challenge, my friends, is to live by them. Graduating class of 2025, as you continue your journey and begin to write the next chapters of your life story, I submit to you that, as with any journey, you need a compass. You need a North Star, a way to navigate the path as you go. I encourage you, I invite you to consider adopting these life lessons, these core values as your North Star as you begin to write the next chapters of your story. Integrity, service, excellence. Life is not a straight path, but a winding road filled with unexpected turns. The ability to do your best, to learn from your mistakes, to live your life with integrity, and to embrace opportunities to give back and serve others, to me, have been key components to a fulfilling and impactful life. Now, you will have many people serve as positive influence in your lives. Teachers, friends, co-workers, and sometimes your biggest mentors are in your family, as was my experience. You need just one person to see a vision for you bigger than you can see for yourself. And sometimes, even in this high-tech world, it's those simple life lessons that matter the most. Thank you, graduating class of 2025, for allowing me to be part of your special day, this momentous celebration. You stand here today not just as individuals, but as part of a larger community. Look around you. This is part of that larger community. Remember the bonds you've forged, the friendships you've made, and the support you've received from your parents, your family, friends, and teachers, and carry that spirit of community with you as you embark on the next chapter of your story. And finally, hearty congratulations. I admire your many achievements and accomplishments, and I wish you continued success. May God bless each and every one of you. Thank you.
On behalf of the class of 2025, how about one more round of applause? We have this for you. Thank you so much.
All right, here we go. Board of Education, members of the board, and Mr. Hockenberry. These seniors before you today have completed all the graduation requirements of the state of Ohio and the Poland Board of Education. On behalf of the Poland Board of Education and the administration and staff of Poland Seminary High School, it is our honor to announce the names of the graduates on the 31st day of May 2025. As we prepare to do this calling of the names of our graduates, we ask that you respect a long-standing tradition here at Poland Seminary High School and display their respect for one another by refraining from clapping, yelling, or making any noise during the formal portion of the ceremony. We believe that each family deserves to clearly hear the name of their graduate. We will applaud more than vicariously at the end in the conclusion of the roll call. Thank you. I will now be calling the roll of the valedictorians and salutatorian so that they can come up and receive their diplomas. Then Mr. Daly, our assistant principal, will call the class roll for those seniors to come forward and receive their diplomas. Congratulations again, class of 2025. Valedictorian, Quinlan Bulick. Valedictorian, Michael Daly. Valedictorian, Kate Harrell. Valedictorian, Jeffrey Kohler. Valedictorian, Gavin Matthew. Valedictorian, Ian Vandervoort. Salutatorian, Adriana Morantis.
Grace Ayers. Ethan Battle. Travis Berry. Gianna Bendis. Nicholas Blanche. Ava Blinsky. Bradley Burgoyne. Tyler Canfield. Connor Casey. Erica Casey. Julia Clark. Angela Cole. Derry Daly. Sophia Dambra. Annika Davenport. Gabriel Deering. Carson Decor. Jacob DeLuca. Dante D'Annunzio. Sava Dorenzo. Francesca Di Tommaso. Dominic D'Amico. Hannah Drummond. Catherine Dunham. Sarah Edwards. Jason Ike. Angelina Fonda. Sophia Generalovic. Henry Grenzig. Christopher Greer, Jr. Madeline Grindle. Joshua Guy. Carmela Guzman. Lucy Harrell. Jacob Hayes. Yanni Hazamahalis. Elizabeth Hernan. Jonathan Hillier. Lucienne Hops. Kylie Hudrin. Tyler Iberis. Costa Kalakazaris. Timothy Kerr. Hannah Kessler. Evan Kohler. Ava Krell. Ella Kurth. Cole Lewis. AJ Lisco. Josh Miseko. Richard Madeline. Alexis Mangino. Charles Marco. Macy Martin. Samantha Masucci. Colin McBride. Oliver McCulley. Lainey McGivern. Mia Malone.
Aloya Milano. Tyler Miller-Liley. Olivia Meinhardt. Gordon Moore. Ralph Mold. Christian Moyer. Angelina Moravchak. Jonah Myers. Ryan Nye. Kalina Pinto. Stella Pompeo. Macy Rogers. Anthony Sattarelli, Jr. Hunter Seifert. Miley Cervenak. Hannah Sharber. Nathaniel Slivkoff. James Stefanson. Tyson Terjak. Alyssa Thomas. Domenico Taco. Vincent Tafaro. Saminder Tooley. Reagan Turner. Joseph Verone. Eliana Volpini. Cameron Wheaton. Sarah White. Nicholas Williams. Luke Raderick. Dylan Young. Samantha Young. Dominic Urich. Aubrey Zimmers. class of 2025. At this time, we will rise for the playing of the Poland alma mater. You guys can let them go. Congratulations. Love you all.